Let me tell you a story that doesn't sound real at first. In the late 1970s, China was poor. Not developing country poor, I mean real poverty. Hundreds of millions of people just trying to survive. There are no big companies, no global influence, no skyscrapers. Nothing that made the world pay attention to China. China was invisible. But today, China is called the factory of the world. So what really happened? How do you go from poverty to global power in just one generation? Because that kind of transformation doesn't happen by accident. It started with one decision. In 1978, a man came into power. The man's name is Deng Xiaoping. Now, this man didn't care about ideology, he cared about results. There is a famous line he said, "It doesn't matter whether a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice." In simple terms, he was saying, forget theory, what works, works. And that mindset changed everything. Because China did something most countries were afraid to do at that time, they opened their doors, but not blindly. They opened it strategically. They told the world, come and build your factories here, use our labor, use our land. Because they have large land and a large number of labor force. And companies came because China had something powerful, cheap labor at a massive scale. But here is where it gets interesting. China was not just trying to create jobs, they were learning. Every factory that came in was a classroom. They were studying how products are made, how supply chains work, how global business really operates, and slowly things started to change for China. China moved from just assembling products to making their own. Then they started improving on them, then competing with the same company that came in the first place. Companies like Huawei, Xiaomi, they didn't just follow, they started competing globally. Then China didn't stop there. Because factories alone are not enough, you need movement. At least how the goods are being moved, as logistics. So they invested heavily in infrastructure. They invested in roads, railways, ports, power, etc. They made it easier, faster and cheaper to move goods at scale. And that changed everything. Because now they weren't just producing, they were exporting. And they were exporting these goods to America, to Europe and to the entire world. Money started flowing into China, factories expanded, cities grew, and slowly poverty began to disappear in China. Now let's bring this home, because this is where the real conversation starts. Africa today looks a lot like China back then. Young population, resources, untapped potentials. But there is one big difference. China focused on production, but Africa focuses more on consumption. We import what we could produce, we spend where we could invest, and that is the gap. So the real question is not, can Africa become like China? The real question is Africa ready to play the long game? Because China did. It wasn't magic, it was decades of learning, building and staying consistent. So now the opportunity is here, the blueprint already exists. The only question is, who is going to take it seriously? Because in today's world, power doesn't come from what you have, it comes from what you can produce. And China understood that early. The question is, when will Africa do its own? If you like this type of content, kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video and share the video, as I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you.